Thanks for tuning in to the TCDSB Assistive Technology Team's video series on Google Slides for secondary students. In this video, we will focus on formatting options for your images. So as always, we want to make sure that we're logged into our TCDSB Google Chrome account. And I know I've done this correctly because I can see my icon in the Chrome browser as well as on my main page. Let's get started. The first thing we want to do is select the slide where our image is. So we can see in this presentation on slides 3 and 4, I have images of sea turtles. So let's pick slide number 3 to explore the formatting options available to you. There is an option to format through the menu at the very top. So there are options for borders and lines. So if you wanted to put a border around this picture, we could do that. We can also change the weighting of that border so we can really make a frame around it. We can customize like the type, so we can do thick and thin. So if we unclick, you can see there's a little bit of a thick line and then a thinner line on the outside. Lots of different options for putting borders around. We also have format options, so that goes into a little bit more detailed formatting that you can do. As well, we can also crop the image. So cropping the image means we can cut out parts of the image that we don't want to focus on one section. We can replace the image, again, with all the options that we had earlier about how to insert images. And then we can also reset the image to its original. So I'm just going to do that to show you that function. So you can see that it has returned to the original image that I had inserted. So let's take a look again at this toolbar across the top. So you can notice that we can also insert border colors with this toolbar. So this would change the border color. This determines the border weight. So this means that how thick it is. So the bigger the number, the thicker the border. This is the style of border that you'd like around. So you also have those options in this toolbar menu. We also have a crop feature. So let's explore that feature here. So this crop image, I'll show you how that works. So we can just focus a little bit more on the turtle. What you want to do is you want to select a side, and what it does is it cuts out that part of the image. So this grayed out or this lighter part will be cut out of the image as soon as I click this crop image again. So as you can see, it's just focusing mostly on this turtle, and then I can resize it to be a little bit bigger and center it where I would like. Again, if I make a mistake or I don't really like the way it works, I can reset the image by clicking on here. So I can reset the image and it goes back to the original image. So again, let's explore that crop again. And I'm just going to resize and crop out a little bit more of that background and keep it a larger image like this. So now let's explore some formatting options. So I'm going to head up to the toolbar and select formatting options. And you will notice that a menu comes up on the side where it has all these different things that you can do for this image. So we'll start at the top. And this window, this little drop down, deals with size and rotation. So we can adjust the size and rotation of any image based on measurements or by scale. One feature I want to draw your attention to is this lock aspect ratio. So by locking the aspect ratio, when I change the size of my image, the image stays in proper proportion. So meaning it's not skewed or distorted at all. If this option is not selected, when I change the size, you can notice if I change the width, only the width is changing and the height isn't changing. And you can notice that the turtle is now a little bit distorted from the original image. So I'm going to go back to the way it was. And so be sure to always check this off unless you want a distorted image. I mean, it's up to you. The other thing you can do in this window is you can change the angle. So you can rotate this turtle image depending on the layout that you would like. You can also flip the image 90 degrees, and you can also flip vertically and horizontally. So you can see that you can really do a lot of things with the images in terms of positioning. It really just depends on what you want. So let's take a look at position. So position, I don't use this very often. Usually I just drag and drop the image where I'd like, but you can also be exact as to where the positioning is by adjusting the X and Y, and this works as X and Y coordinates. Or you can also do from top left or top center. It really just depends on that, but I find it easier just to move the image where I want with my mouse. We can also recolor. So right now I don't have any recolor. This is the image that I selected, and this is the one that it's inserted, but I can also recolor the image. So if I wanted something, a little bit more creative or more interesting, maybe I'm a traditionalist, I really like just the way it is in the original, but you might get some good effects by using this recolor option. It really is a personal preference. Adjustments. So this will adjust the transparency. So if you want the image to be a little bit transparent, you can do that. You can adjust the brightness if you want to adjust the brightness of the image. You can also increase or decrease the contrast. So if you want, colors to be a little bit more vivid, you can do that as well. So I'm just going to reset back to the original image, and you can adjust that depending on what your needs are. Drop shadow. This is a great feature as well if you want to have a dropped shadow behind your image. Right now it's selected, so you can notice, I'm not sure if you can see, it's a very small drop shadow, but what I'll do is I will increase the distance, meaning the size of the drop shadow. And you can also adjust the angle that the drop shadow is. So you can notice that when I do adjust the angle, the drop shadow moves slightly. And then I can also increase the transparency or decrease the transparency of my drop shadow. And I can also change the color of my drop shadow. So you can do quite a few different things with drop shadows to make it a little bit more interesting for your presentation. So I think I like that. I'm going to keep it like that. And also a reflection. So this is a cool feature if you want like a reflection, kind of like a mirror here. You can also adjust the transparency of the reflection, the distance that the reflection is from the original image, as well as the size. So you can have some interesting effects here. And that is it for formatting options. So you can really see that Google Slides does offer quite a few formatting options for your images. Be sure that you check out the other videos in this video series, and I hope that you've learned a few new tips and tricks for formatting images in your Google Slides presentations. Thanks for watching.